This unbelievable story out of Cincinnati where this officer, Kevin Brown, used a stun gun on an 11-year-old child who was caught shoplifting. Now, the craziest thing is the child was running away, and in this video, you will literally hear this idiot talking to her. Now, of course, the police chief in Cincinnati, he said it was a violation of department policy and unnecessary. Why does he still have a job? Check this out.
Only way we can get him out, okay? Just relax for a minute. Just relax your body. Totally relax, okay? And breathe.
Oh
just
my
relax.
God.
Relax, baby. Relax. It'll be over before you know it. Okay? Okay, that's right. Just relax. Just relax. Relax. Then I gotta listen to all these idiots out here in the parking lot tell me how I was wrong for tasing you. You broke the law. And you fled as I tried to apprehend you. Y'all took this too?
That's my friend. She put him on her bed. And she got a little brother.
You know what, sweetheart? This is why there aren't any grocery stores in the black community, because of all this going on.
Dude, really? Let's go back to our panel.
You know,
11 years old, taser.
I mean, this is emblematic of why we need the type of real hardcore reform of our criminal justice system, but also policing. When I testified in front of the President Obama's National Committee on 21st Century Policing, they did three different panels in different cities, and I actually testified in Cincinnati, and they chose Cincinnati because Cincinnati at the time, and still to this day, is under a consent decree with the Department of Justice that's supposed to be overseeing its Justice Department. Now that overseeing its policing, now that Jeff Sessions is overseeing the Justice Department, we recognize that we're not going to have the same type of oversight. The fact that the police chief can say that it violated policy, yet nothing has really been done, sends a real powerful message about what police can continue to get away with, the lack of accountability, and how little black communities have in terms of power over the folks that actually police their community. How even children are seen as enemy combatants in their own community. And the way that police officer talked to that young girl is absolutely disgusting. We should be ashamed. But more importantly, this is not about one bad apple. This is about a structural problem and a structural system. Until we get our hands around it and change it, people get unelected, they get kicked out of office, people get fired, nothing will change.
Yeah, I think the fact that there was no consequence here is a thing that you find secondly disturbing. The most disturbing thing is obviously that this 11-year-old girl was tased and then spoken to. And you have so many white children who are, you know, able to commit infractions and they live to tell about it without being tased or murdered.
Like that.
Right, exactly. And I think the conversation sometimes gets hairy when the aggressor, being the police officer, is a person of color. And, you know, I think, again, this is very consistent with what we've seen throughout history. A system that oppresses always find people who look like you to help with their oppression. And I think that's what we've seen here. And it's really sad and it's unfortunate that this police officer has allowed himself to be co-opted by a system of oppression, and children are at the sacrifice of it, which is heartbreaking.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely saddening. I think we're at a point where there needs to be hard consequences to bad policing. Whether it be, you know, if a city's going to settle a police brutality case, that money shouldn't come from taxpayers. That money should come from police unions' budget, police unions' pension funds. If an officer is going to break protocol, it should be, I mean, we're at a point now where if you're going to attack children, you know, breaking protocol should be a fireable offense. Any other employment, you break protocol, you're gone. You're canned because you're a liability to the company, you're a liability to the firm, and that should be the same with police department.